Badly in game, I need some advice. Okay. DD Hatterene, do they have EVs and stuff? They do not have any EVs here, do they? Ah, here we go. Hatterene, this is the one from Showdown. Executor, hold up. Harvest, a Guave, so that heals, I think? Ah, hello Robbie, welcome back to the stream. I'm just doing some analysis on teams. I don't know what this Pokemon does, and it also doesn't really do damage. I need to highlight their stuff down here so I can see it. $1,300 is not high. I'm just doing like team analysis right now. Let's see. Again, after I analyze this team and see what is wrong here. They didn't even put their team ID down. Clear Body, Papa, so that it heals you. This is not a bulky Pokemon. That's probably the biggest problem here. So running special set on this. Special attack. Speed, yeah, that's just regular. I don't need to see how you set it up. Okay, so you run these two. You beat up on this. It's not super fast. This seems easy to shut down in comparison to Whimsicott. This is faster than Whimsicott, but you'd be at a speed tie with Terrakion. Or actually you wouldn't. If your sole purpose here is to beat Terrakion Whimsicott teams, this might be really good. But that's not what everybody's running in ranked. Let's see, this is like a great start, but the problem is you have like a full-on Trick Room team here with Executor and all this, but then you have these two for some reason, and these two don't jive well with any of this. So if something happens between Cobalion and Dragapult where they both get knocked out, then all of your switch-ins are really slow. So you're just going to get mopped up pretty hard on the back end if you're using these two. So these just don't jive well with this team. I'm not sure how this works, unless it's just you're relying on Trick Room solely for this to function. This is extremely standard. I don't know why you have Fake Out on Psychic Surge Pokemon. This is useless. Either put Protect on this, or like, what is that? That Mystic Fire move? Mystical Fire? That's a pretty good move, but you don't want to run Fake Out into Psychic Surge. You'll just Fake Out nothing, because the Psychic Terrain doesn't allow you to use this move. That's completely useless on this. This seems good, but is weird with Ally Switch. I'd probably just opt into putting Protect here. I'd run like a water Pokemon with this. Like if you really want to switch these two out, there was a set that I saw. It was like Vaporeon and then something else here. It had like Discharge. So what you would do is Discharge, activate a weakness policy, and then you'd sort of just run over whoever you're going up against. So that might be pretty decent as well. It doesn't, Lightning Rod doesn't affect Discharge either. I don't know. This just looks pretty bad. There's a lot of stuff that shuts this down, specifically this, and also Togekiss. I would probably drop this for maybe Amoonguss. I mean, with a Guava Berry, you're not exactly smashing here anyway, depending on what you're doing with it. Special attack, so it's got no defense. Yeah, it's a glass cannon. I mean, that's your own analysis of this. Of like, you should do something with this, because if you're running into this problem where your Pokemon is just actually useless, then you need to change it out anyway. If nothing else, put a Focus Sash on it. If you really just want to use this Pokemon, this should probably have Focus Sash on it though. This has Focus Sash on it. Is this not a tanky one? This is a female one. Did I lose it? This should be tanky enough to where it doesn't need Focus Sash. Yes, it doesn't contribute much because it is a support Pokemon. That is literally what it's supposed to do. It's weird that you talk about making it bulky, but you also have Focus Sash on it. That's what a support Pokemon's supposed to be. It doesn't need to be like incredibly powerful. Dragapult. I mean, it just does what it does here. I mean, you sort of run into the problem of all of these Pokemon having dark weaknesses, as well as Marowak. So, people running Incineroar probably stomp this team pretty hard. Like, Incineroar by itself dumpsters this, because Incineroar is way slower than this, and it probably is slower than this as well. So you probably want like leftovers or citrus berry on this. I wish it wasn't so far down here. You should be able to live through almost anything with this kind of like massive defense. It's so weird that Focus Sash is on this. Where if Trick Room is your biggest deal here of like you win or lose based on if Trick Room is up, this needs a Focus Sash, not this. So basically anything but Focus Sash for this. Focus Sash definitely goes here. This combo is good, but if you're running Trick Room, it's strange. You should either almost completely invest into like making your whole team a Trick Room team, or having something else here that can function within Trick Room. You could do this, trade out Thunderbolt for Surf. I think you'd have to make this Dragapult a different one where it's like Jolly Nature and can surf, and use Colossal here. Because Colossal's pretty slow, it works in Trick Room, and then with the surf, it activates Weakness Policy, bing bang boom, you got a super strong Pokemon. That also works in Trick Room. So you could run this theoretically. Yeah, this guy's just, I don't know, his typing is not good for the current meta with how much like fairy types. You probably see this a lot. Togekiss absolutely dumpsters this. There's nothing that this does that beats Togekiss. Not in one shot. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's do like a team builder or something here. Well, maybe I could do... Where's my notepad? Let me see notepad. So, Hatterene. Boom. And DD. You could run those the same way. This definitely needs to be at Focus Sash. I would invest maybe even leftovers into this. Leftovers, citrus berry, whatever berry for your nature for NDD. You have the berries on the other Pokemon. So, like a citrus. I need to put like an at. Poop. Yeah, Colossal. Weakness Policy. Pair that with Dragapult. Dragapult you can put many different items on. I mean, realistically, like Life Orb probably wouldn't be terrible here. You could put the... Is it Roselli Berry? That cuts in half. Fairy type moves. That probably wouldn't be a terrible idea, but I mean, this thing has so many weaknesses. It's hard to say. This is like something you'd have to do testing on to like what is destroying Dragapult the most, or just what is in the meta currently. I'd probably do like the Dragon Damage Reduction Berry, which is... Oh man, I don't even know. Probably know it if I saw it here. Roselli, so yeah, Roselli might be a good option. Where's the dragon one? Dragon. If it's even in the game yet. Ghost. It's also dark. Haban, yeah. So maybe Habanberry because of Kingdra. But there's also the dark and the fairy type berry. It just really depends on what you think is right there and how it's been going in game. For second two, I mean, I would pick one of these two Pokemon for sure to see which one is better. If you're running this and Colossal, what you can do is you could do this. And this is very good in Trick Room. It's got a wide move pool. It works with Surf. You'd want this to be physical. Like this Dragapult would need to be physical so you could drop Surf without doing a ton of damage to Colossal. You could run this tankier as well. And this being tankier, you could run like leftovers on it if need be. There's an R there. That doesn't look like it's spelled right, but it is. So let's just move this to right here. So you got these, and you got Marowak. Marowak seems fine. I would just remove Ally Switch and put it with Protect instead. So this should be your new team. So physical Dragapult, you want it with Surf. I would definitely run this just to mitigate some of the damage from these two Pokemon with like Storm Drain. It'll draw in the attacks to Marowak and Colossal. The Lightning Rod, I mean, there's nothing here that's going to get attacked by lightning, unfortunately. But there's nothing here that was going to get attacked by lightning either, so. Is Robbie still here? If you're still here, I'll trade with you, Robbie. But yeah. I'll definitely change this team into this one. This is a good idea. If you wanted to go with this team, you'd have to build a team around these two and have counters for Trick Room, not Trick Room set up yourself. Hope that actually helps.